The bells ring unseen from the clock tower of the Church of St. Michael's and All Angels in Mickleham village, calling the faithful to prayer. They also remind us when the next bus is due, and that all good pub clocks are 10 minutes fast. The bells are hung dead, meaning they do not swing like full circle bells, apparently due to unspecified structural problems during their hanging in 1916. Instead, they are rung from a handle console in the upper gallery of the clock tower. This short film takes you where normally only a select few dare to tread, amongst the wasps' nests and the bats in the belfry, to tell you a little about their past.
Here we are up in the belfry. There are 6 bells here, 4 of which date from 1916, nearly 100 years old. One of the pre-existing bells is still in use. That dates from 1620s. And the last bell is a recast bell, recast in 1916 from an 1850 bell. All the bells originate either from precursors to the Whitechapel foundry or the Taylor foundry, and these 2 foundries are the only 2 foundries left in the UK. So they all have good provenance. Whitechapel and Taylor between them found Big Ben, the big bell in the Houses of Parliament, and also the Borden bell in Westminster Abbey. The 3 on this side are all 1916 bells, and they were installed in memory of Sir Trevor Lawrence, who lived down at Burford, which is not a million miles away from here. The bells are these days not hand-rung. They are wound alongside the clock, which we'll show you later, on a series of pulleys, one of which you can see behind me. So we have a good lot of bells here, which make one hell of a noise. The heaviest bell is £1,300. This is not the heaviest bell, but I'll ring this one anyway. And once you get it going, you can't stop it. Enough of the bells, let's move to the clock. Right, we're now over on the other side of the belfry, and this is where the clock itself is located, and John is the current Time Lord, who's opening the cupboard to reveal the mechanism of the clock. This has to be done every 8 days as a minimum, but it's normally done every 7. I myself did it for 3 years, and there are records of others who have done it for longer than I. John is now winding the clock mechanism itself. The clock was built in 1850 by Corley & Co. of Regent Street. John has to wind the clock, I think it's around 60 times every week with that enormous handle, in order to keep the thing going for 8 days. Once he's done the clock, he then has to wind the times as well. And John, to do this, has to put this enormous cog onto the winding mechanism. That cog, I can tell you, weighs, I would guess, around 30 pounds, maybe a little bit more.
I think you'll find it's about 40 kilograms.
Yeah, John's older than I am. Adjustment of the clock is done by the little mechanism in the middle, which John's just obscuring at the moment. There it is, the little brass mechanism, which, if you look at it closely, you can see is a reverse of the clock face outside. So when you're adjusting the clock, you have to turn the thing back to front with a small spanner, and that turns the hands on the clock outside, which probably measure about 2 feet, 2 and a bit feet across each. So it's quite a delicate operation, particularly on Remembrance Sunday, when you have to get it exactly right. Okay, we're now down in the gallery, and this is the oldest bell. Non-functional. It wasn't hung with the new bells in 1916, apparently due to faulty harmonics. This bell was made by a chap called William Carter, as it says on the bell itself, it says Wilhelmus Carter may fake it, which Latin is William Carter made me. And it's dated 1610. William Carter was one of the first bell founders for what became the Whitechapel Foundry. I think he was the second recorded bell founder. So this is a real old man. And as I say, it's not been rung for nearly 100 years. It's sat here on the balcony and no one knows how to move it, never mind pinch it. So if you want to see it at all, you're very welcome to come up, touch it, say hello to it, and I guarantee you won't be able to run off with it. And this is where the bells are rung from. They would have been rung in a round with people downstairs pulling on ropes, but now the pulleys are linked into these levers, and the bells are rung from here with strikers inside the bells upstairs. Now, I'm no musician, so I'll play them at random, and here we go. I like the deep one.